Before we continue, kindly click the subscription button and subscribe to stay with us. Rain slammed against the mansion roof as lightning split the night in two. "Leave me alone." Austin's voice thundered through the hall. He threw the glass of wine across the room. It shattered, staining the white carpet red. The maids froze. One whispered, "His worst tonight." The others quickly scattered, afraid to be the next target. But Lillian Carter didn't move. Before we continue, kindly show us your support as you click the subscription button and get ready to experience a true love story. She stood at the end of the hallway, heart racing, holding a tray that shook in her hands. She had only been in the mansion for a month, but every night was the same: shouting, breaking, silence. This time, though, the silence after the crash felt different. It wasn't anger anymore. It sounded like pain. She took a small step forward. Inside the study, Austin sat in his wheelchair, staring at the broken glass. His chest heaved. The mansion felt like a tomb, and he was its prisoner. When the door creaked open, he turned sharply. "I said get out." But the voice that answered wasn't trembling. "I came to clean up," Lillian said softly. "I don't need your help." "Maybe not," she replied, kneeling to pick up the shards. "But you shouldn't sit in the dark, sir. It's cold here." He watched her hands move, steady, careful, gentle. It had been years since someone spoke to him like that. "Do you talk to all your employers this way?" he asked. "Only the ones who look like they need it," she said without looking up. That made him pause. His lips parted, but he said nothing. She stood, placed the tray beside him, and turned to leave. Then he said quietly, "Stay." Lillian froze. "Just for a minute," he added. "The rain sounds less lonely when someone else hears it too." She turned back slowly. And that was the first time he smiled. Not much, just a flicker, but it was enough to change everything. If you're watching this right now, hit that subscribe button because what's about to happen next will pull you right into their world. This isn't just another love story. It's the one that shouldn't have happened, but did. Now, let's begin. The following morning, Austin waited for her. He didn't want to admit it, but he did. He found himself watching the door, listening for her soft footsteps. When she finally appeared with his tea, he spoke before she could. "Good morning, Lillian." She blinked, surprised. "Good morning, sir." "Don't call me sir," he said quietly. "Just Austin." Her lips curved into a small smile. "Okay, Austin." The sound of his name in her voice made something inside him stir, something he thought was long dead. Over the next few weeks, she stayed longer each day. They talked. Not about work or rules, but about books, music, childhood memories. One afternoon, she found him staring at an old photo on his desk. A younger Austin stood there, tall and strong, beside a sleek black car. "You miss who you were," Lillian said gently. He looked up, startled. "What?" "You look at that picture every day like you're still in it." He laughed bitterly. "That man could walk, Lillian. He had a life. This man," he gestured to himself, "sits in a chair and pretends he still matters." "You still matter," she said firmly. "You just stopped believing it." He looked at her, really looked, and felt something shift. Maybe she was the first person who saw him as human again. That night, thunder rolled again. Austin sat by the window, sleepless. The rain blurred the lights of the city below. A soft knock broke the silence. "Come in," he said. Lillian stepped inside, holding a cup of tea. "I thought you might need this," she said. He chuckled softly. "You read minds now." "No," she said. "Just faces." She walked closer, placing the tea beside him. For a moment, neither spoke. The air felt thick, charged, like the storm outside had found its way into the room. "Why are you always so kind to me?" he asked suddenly. Lillian hesitated. Because kindness is what we all need the most when we deserve it the least. He stared at her, and his voice softened. You shouldn't talk to me this way. It's dangerous. She tilted her head. Dangerous how? Because I might start needing you. Lillian froze. Her breath caught in her throat. The clock ticked. The storm raged. Then she whispered, Maybe you already do. Austin's heart pounded in his chest. He reached out, his fingers brushing hers. The spark between them was undeniable. Raw, fragile, forbidden. The rain poured harder, drumming against the glass like a heartbeat. And when she didn't pull her hand away, he whispered, Stay with me, Lillian. Just tonight. No pity. No fear. Just stay. She nodded slowly, tears shining in her eyes. I'll stay. And that night, in the quiet of that storm, two lonely souls found something neither expected, warmth. But happiness never comes without a price. The next morning, Austin woke with a smile for the first time in years. He rang for tea, waiting. Minutes passed. Where's Lillian? He asked when another maid entered. She left early this morning, sir. No note. No goodbye. His smile vanished. What do you mean she left? She's gone. Austin's chest tightened. No, she wouldn't. He wheeled himself to the window, eyes scanning the garden. Empty. Quiet. Gone. Lillian, he whispered, voice cracking. Why? The house fell silent again. The rain had stopped, but inside him, the storm had only just begun. Across the city, Lillian sat alone in a tiny apartment, tears falling on a folded uniform. I'm sorry, Austin, she whispered. I had to. She had left to protect him, from the whispers, the judgment, the scandal. But she couldn't protect her heart. Every night after, she closed her eyes and prayed he was okay. She tried to forget the sound of his voice, the way he looked at her like she was the only thing that made sense. But some loves refuse to die quietly. If you've ever loved someone you couldn't have, type in the comment section below, I believe in real love. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video if you think Austin will do the unthinkable to find her again. Even if it costs him everything. 3 weeks. That's how long Austin Reynolds searched for the one person who made him feel alive. His assistant begged him to stop. His doctor warned him his body couldn't handle the travel. But Austin only said one thing. I already died the day she left. He sold his mansion, donated most of his suits, traded marble floors for motel carpets and silence for road noise. Every town, every cafe, every small church, he asked the same question. Do you know a girl named Lillian Carter? Most just shook their heads. Some smiled sadly. But one morning, in a little town 3 hours away, a nun said quietly, Yes, she cleans the church every night. Austin's hands trembled. Is she here now? She will be, the nun said. She never misses the evening prayer. He waited outside in the courtyard as the sun melted into gold. Every second felt like forever. And then, he saw her. She stepped out of the church, carrying a small bucket, her hair tied back, her dress simple but clean. The sight hit him harder than the accident ever had. Lillian. She froze. The bucket fell, water splashing around her feet. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Austin. He smiled faintly. You didn't think I'd stop looking, did you? Tears welled up instantly. You shouldn't have come. You're not well. I'm better now, he whispered. Because I found you. She shook her head, crying. No, you don't understand. People will talk. They'll ruin you again. Let them, he said, rolling closer. I'd rather be ruined with you than empty without you. She fell to her knees in front of him, her hands trembling. Why do you make everything so hard? Because loving you is the only thing that makes sense. He reached for her face, and she didn't pull away. Their foreheads touched. The world went quiet. They spent the next few weeks in that little town, far away from reporters and gossip. They laughed again. She read him poetry by the window, and he told her stories of cities she'd never seen. He bought her a tiny cottage with a garden out back. They planted flowers, her hands guiding his. Sometimes she'd look up and catch him staring. "What?" she'd ask, smiling. "Just making sure you're real," he'd say. But happiness has its own clock, and Austin could feel his running out. The nights grew longer, his breathing slower. One evening, he called her outside under the stars. "I don't have much time," he said softly. "Don't say that," she whispered. "Listen," he continued. "Promise me something. Promise you'll keep living. Keep planting flowers. Keep laughing when I'm gone." Her tears fell fast. "Don't talk like that." He smiled faintly. "Lillian, when I met you, I was half alive. You gave me the rest of me back. If I go now, I will complete." She grabbed his hand and pressed it to her heart. "Then take this with you." He looked at her, eyes glassy with emotion. "I already have." Days later, Austin slipped into a quiet sleep he never woke from. Lillian buried him beneath the same tree where they first promised forever. Every morning, she watered the flowers and whispered his name. But the story didn't end there. Because one evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, a letter arrived. No return address. Just her name, written in his handwriting. Her heart pounded. Her hand shook as she tore it open. The first line made her knees buckle. "If you're reading this, Lillian, it means I left something behind for you." Her breath caught. The paper trembled. "There's a box beneath the tree where we planted our first afel. There's a box beneath the tree where we planted our first flowers. Inside is the one secret I never told you, something that could change everything." She dropped the letter, eyes wide. "What secret?" she whispered, voice breaking. The camera pans in. Her fingers dig into the soil under the tree, heart racing, desperate to know what he left behind. And before she lifts the lid, the screen fades to black. If you want to know what Austin left for Lillian, smash that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because the next episode will reveal the secret he hid until his last breath. Drop a comment below with what you think was inside that box. Love letter, confession, or something far deeper. We'll find out next time.